Hello, everyone. I love you, and I'm sending you a hug. Another video for today. I wanted to answer a question that Greta sent me on Instagram, and it's a really great question. Her question was, when it comes to practicing your reality, which is what reality are you choosing to play in, what reality are you choosing to be in the quantum field? Knowing that in the quantum field, there is an infinite amount of possibilities to be in. There are an infinite amount of frequencies and realities and dimensional fields, right? And we get to choose based on the frequency that we're holding. We can't pretend, right? So if you try to pretend that you're going to hold some reality and your body isn't holding that frequency, you won't be able to hold that reality. You can only hold and you can only believe that which you're vibrating at, okay? So she says, when it comes to practicing your reality, does this mean that I personally, as a single human, can shift into a world where a pandemic doesn't exist, but in someone else's reality in a different dimension, they still could be stuck there? Okay, you can't shift out of a third dimensional field right now. You can't all of a sudden shoot yourself out of this dimension and no longer be here. Our bodies dictate the dimension that we stand in. And most of us are still holding a third dimensional or a fourth dimensional body. And in either of those dimensions, we are still going to see and experience duality and chaos and fear and all of the things that we're watching unravel right now in the third dimension. So one of the beliefs people have around shifting into 5D or New Earth or any of that is that we're just going to jump out of this field and go into some other place where we're not going to see this. Quite the opposite. We're staying right here as our bodies shift frequencies. And for a very long time we'll be here. Because in order to anchor the body into a fifth dimensional field where you are standing on a 5D earth plane, it's going to take a very long time. Your hands are going to be crystalline. You're going to basically be able to see through your hands. You're going to basically be able to see through your body. Think of how long that's going to take. It may or may not unravel in this lifetime. I don't know. There's many possibilities, many timelines that we as a collective can take. But what I'm saying is you're going to be standing watching the third dimension for a very long time as you shift frequencies. As your body shifts frequencies, I should say. So to have the belief that all of the crap and chaos and underbelly that's unraveling, you're going to be able to jump out of and pretend and not experience or not watch unravel is not going to happen. This is what is so challenging about the ascension process and stepping into these higher frequencies and the quantum space, is that you still have to see and acknowledge and recognize what is occurring in the third dimension because your body is standing in that dimension still, even if you are able to access higher frequencies in the quantum field. So as our bodies start to increase in frequency, we start accessing and tapping into fourth dimensional consciousness, fifth dimensional consciousness, and so on. We're tapping into it because we are holding it in our bodies. Our bodies are holding those frequencies. Therefore, we can now access them. And in accessing them, we can now feel what it feels like to be in that consciousness. And when you do that, you remember who you are. You remember what it feels like to be the creator being, to know that you are abundant, to know that you are wealthy or healthy, that you create your reality, that you get to choose your reality, right? You know that because your body's holding the frequency that's allowing you to tap into that. At the exact same time, you are watching a pandemic unravel. You can't escape the pandemic, right? So whatever unravels with this pandemic or anything else that comes through this third dimensional matrix, you hold the reality of what you want to be and how you want to experience it. When you are holding higher frequencies and chaos and destruction happen, you respond and react very differently than if you were consumed in the third dimensional field. Okay? So when I say, or when people say, choose your reality, you are choosing not only to hold a completely different timeline of how things are being experienced by you, meaning I am okay. I am not going to be impacted. I am not going to play in the fear. I'm not going to buy into the stories. Is it true? Absolutely, it's happening. It's unraveling. People are dying, right? The pandemic is happening. The virus is spreading. What am I choosing to be my reality as I'm watching this? Because you're not going to escape the 3D. As I'm watching it, I am choosing consciously over and over and over again a completely different timeline. For me, you are not responsible for creating a timeline for anybody else. You are designed to hold the higher frequencies, emanate out love to the planet and to humanity, and then you choose your reality. When you start choosing higher timelines, higher not being good or bad, but out of a third dimensional matrix, you respond differently, right? When you start stepping into the quantum space and realizing you're a creator being and you're creating your reality in every now, regardless of what the third dimensional matrix is telling you, you respond differently. You're not buying into the fear. You're not arguing about all the conspiracy theories and all the other stuff that's unraveling, right? You're not running around with your head cut off thinking, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, right? You're holding a different reality. You're choosing a different reality, which is that all is well. We're ascending. We're shifting frequencies collectively. I'm holding a different frequency. I am well. I am healthy. I am holding a vibrational frequency where a virus or any other thing is not going to come in and infiltrate me. If you believe that to be your truth and you hold that in 100% certainty, that's your reality. That's the reality you're creating. That's what it means to be a creator being in the quantum field. So there's always going to be a third dimensional matrix unraveling and clearing density in order to shift frequencies. And it may get worse. It may get better. Your job is not to focus on how it gets worse or how it gets better. Your job is to focus on your own personal increase in frequency within your body and the choice you're making in every now of what reality you're choosing in your now. So yes, the pandemic got worse. Yes, we got quarantined. That has nothing to do with you choosing the reality that you're choosing. You don't control the outcome of anything in the third dimension, right? So as the pandemic or the virus was rolling out and you were holding this reality that it's not going to get worse, well, that's trying to control the third dimension. When you create a reality in a higher frequency, you're creating it in a higher consciousness, which is that all is well. All is well. I am healthy. I am abundant. I am free. I am a creator being. You're creating it from that space, it's not going to get worse. We're going to be fine, or not we're going to be fine, but there's a way of creating a reality in the third dimension where you're thinking that you're creating a different reality, but you're actually just creating a new reality in the same third dimensional matrix, right? So you're like, this isn't going to get bad. This is going to stop soon. Nobody's going to get impacted badly. That's the reality I'm choosing. Right? I'm choosing a reality where this is going to end quickly. I'm choosing a reality where people aren't going to get harmed. That's a reality in the third dimensional matrix. Do you understand? So you're still creating a reality in the matrix. So of course you're going to say, wait a second, I was creating a different reality. You were creating a reality within the reality that you didn't want to be in, right? You can't control the third dimension. When you step into different realities, different timelines, you are literally pulling yourself out of it. So regardless of what unravels and what it looks like, all is well. It's hard as a human to hold that and watch what is unraveling. I understand. So we are not separating and saying, fuck that, I don't care what's going on, excuse my language, right? And just let it go. You're a human. You are having emotions around it. You are experiencing sadness or grief or anger or rage, all of it. But you are holding a reality that is different than the reality that this virus or this pandemic or anything else is telling you. And that reality is that, yes, in this matrix here, this is what's unraveling. And in another field, in a higher frequency, in another timeline, we have shifted out of that. We have shifted collectively into a higher frequency. We are becoming creator beings more and more. More humans are waking up. I am recognizing that my vibrational frequency and light is more potent than any third dimensional matrix paradigm or program. I'm holding that reality. I'm holding it while I turn and watch this third dimensional matrix play out. Watch this pandemic play out with an open heart. Always sending love, 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 the frequency of love over and over again to every human that is being impacted, and having empathy for all the humans that are impacted. This view is not saying, oh, well, nothing bad's happening, or I don't care because it's not happening to me. No, this view is full of empathy. You are watching it. It takes courage to be able to ascend into the quantum space and hold everything that's unraveling around you. We are not designed to jump out of, to escape, or to pretend. We are here to be like Jesus, who walked straight into the fire and said, I will hold you in this fire because I know from a higher perspective who you are, where you're going, what you're capable of, and I will hold that for you until you're able to hold it for yourself. And that's what it means to ascend right now in physicality, tapping into the quantum space, accessing other realities while you stand in the third dimensional field, watching shadow alchemize into light, which is what's happening. I hope this was helpful. I hope this made sense. That is how you choose realities while you are still standing in a third or fourth dimensional field, watching a third dimensional paradigm play out. Not easy, but we practice with an open heart, compassion for ourselves, empathy for the entire third dimensional matrix and field, empathy and compassion for ourselves. I love you.